Hi, I'm Tim from Tower Systems. Today I'm doing a run through on how our system works for bookshops. So I'll give you a bit of a run through on how the software works, some of the features and functions that are available, and then I'll talk a bit about the services we offer behind the scenes as well. Jumping straight into it, what you have here, this is essentially your main dashboard of the system. Now you can tailor this, so you can set this up with different layouts for different machines and different users. Really easy to toggle between those. You've got your options at the top here. So if you wanted maybe your point of sale users, if you just wanted them to have access to the basics like point of sale and end of day, maybe you want help on there as well. Really easy to tailor that sort of stuff. Whereas if it's the main administration machine out the back, you might want that to have the full flexibility of things like catalogs, loyalty, managing the reordering process. If you do customer orders, you can manage all of that from there as well. And yeah, essentially tailor this main screen to suit. That level of flexibility also translates through to the point of sale screen. So if I jump in here, you can tailor this. I've got mine set up with a preview of what I've scanned on one side and my touch buttons over on the other. They can be shortcuts to products, to groupings of products, to other levels, to facilities within the system, different functions, obviously payment types and whatnot as well. You can even have website shortcuts on there. So if you do want to jump to a particular supplier's website for reordering or even just searching for something with a customer, you can certainly set those shortcuts up on that screen. When it comes to performing a transaction, really straightforward. Most of the time you're going to scan the barcode. I don't have a barcode scanner on my machine, but I have set up a couple of touchscreen buttons. So if I was selling Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, I can simply click that to add it to the sale. You can, if you wanted to discount this, it's all touchscreen. You can just click on unit discount, and I've got mine set to show me the GP information. So if I'm discounting on the fly, I can see that and I can just make sure I'm still making money on the transaction. If you wanted to discount the overall sale, if this had a lot of products on it, you can also click down the bottom here. The beauty of this system is you can also record sales against customers. So if you want to start building that marketing database, so you know who purchases what genres they're purchasing from, you can harness all of that information so you can then use it for marketing purposes down the back. It's as simple as hitting customer sale here on my screen. Choose the customer out of your list. So I've got one in my system just called example customer. And you can see there when I select them, it puts their details at the top there. We bridge the system in with your FPOS pin pad, so we link with Linkly, Tyro, SmartPay, and a few others. Our system, we don't take any percentage of transactions or anything like that. That's all managed through your FPOS pin pad. So if this customer was paying by FPOS, all I've got to do is hit my FPOS button there. As it happens, this customer has an outstanding voucher linked to their account. So if they did want to use that and take $2.30 off this sale, I could select that. Now you don't have to have it set for that. If you're using discount vouchers, I'll show you what they look like in a second, but you can have it set so they have to bring it in to claim that voucher. So I'm just going to hit OK on that, put my initials in, and that'll finalize the sale for me. So just on that, on the loyalty side of things, you can do discount vouchers, which when you complete a sale, it'll do a little slip on the bottom of the receipt with a voucher for whatever makeup you want it to be. You can do loyalty points. So in this case, the customer spent $22. They might accrue 22 points on that sale. Or you can do profiles. So you could also say that customer is a VIP customer and they by default, get 10% off comic books, for example. So you can set all of that sort of stuff in the background. If I was just doing an over-the-counter cash transaction, I'm just going to add a few products back onto this sale. You can see there I've got, again, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Now you can click on that in this screen as well. So if you did want to look at the image, the cover of that book, I've got that all preloaded in the system as well. I've also got the Barefoot Investor there. That one's on sale. That's got 20% off at the moment. That's running until the end of the month. And so that promo there is automated for me. So again, if they were paying by FPOS, I could hit FPOS if they gave me $45.96. If they gave me a $50 note, I can click the picture, put my initials in, and that'll finalize the sale for me. I've got this one set to bring up an example of the receipt. And I keep in mind I didn't select the customer on this one either. This is just over the counter. They're buying some products and they're out the door. We put your logo on the top so they're nice and professional. I've got the products they purchased, and you can also have extra notes against each product. So I've got mine set on the receipts so they're really professional. It just does a bit of a blurb on each product they're purchasing. And if I scroll down further, this one's also got that discount voucher on the bottom of the receipt. So because this was an over-the-counter, just a transaction, no customer link to it, the system's printed that voucher so they can then bring that in next time, and there'll be a barcode on the bottom of that as well. Mine's just pushed it to the next page, but that would have just printed off on your receipt printer. They can bring that voucher in next time and scan that, and it'll automatically deduct the $2.30 off their next sale. We've seen a lot of cool ways consumers are using those, where they might come in store and purchase something. They might then give that voucher to a friend or relative that they're shopping with. They might come back in a week later and use it. It's fascinating to see the information behind that and how they're used. There is a report in the background as well, so you can go in and see what the average redemption time frame is, whether it's same day, 7 days, 14 days, or so on. And you can see what extra transactions those vouchers are leading to. So some really deep information on how those loyalty facilities might work for you. I'll just complete that one. Back to my point of sale screen here. You've also got things like if you do lay-bys, the system can do that sort of stuff for you. You can suspend sales. So if a customer, you ring up 10 items and then they have to, they want to go back and look for something else, you can simply suspend that and you can then bring that sale back up on any one of your registers. You can also, like I said, jump to websites. So if you want those kind of links there, you can do that. And another really cool thing you can do from point of sale, or from anywhere in the system for that matter, is special orders for customers. So if someone, let's say you've got a book and it's on pre-order, I can do a lookup on that book. So I'm just going to bring up my stock list and I'm going to put a keyword in here of pre-order, because I've got something with that in the description. So I've got a pre-order there for codename bananas. I'll select that one and it brings up all of the information for that particular book. So I've got its description, price, I can see what department, category and whatnot it's in, whether I've got any on hand or on orders and things like that. Down the bottom here, if this is a current title, you could see when it's been received in the past, how many you normally get, and you can also view the sales information for that, so you can see how quickly it sells out. But what I really wanted to show you from this screen is you've also got an option here for custom order. So, if I turned around and said, yep, I'm after a copy of that book, can you get it in for me? I can hit customer order, it's going to order one, I can click in customer name, and I can add a new customer in from here, or if it's someone that's been in before, I can just select them out of my database there, put in the staff member that's allocating it, and then I could complete that order. What that'll do is in the background, it'll compile a list of customers that have codename bananas on order. And then when I receive that in from the supplier, it'll stop and say, hey, don't forget, these customers have it on order. It'll then print labels for those customers, so you know to put it aside for them. It will email or SMS them in the background to again notify them. And it even goes one step further with your quantity on hand. It'll move that from being an active quantity on hand for your stock levels and put it in as a held quantity. And the reason we do that is a lot of our customers these days are linking their point of sale with their website. And so if you had 4 copies of this book that have just come in, but they're all allocated to customers, the last thing you want to do is highlight them on your website as being available. So yeah, we take care of all of that sort of stuff for you as well. If I move on from point of sale, coming back to my main screen here, when it comes to reordering, really easy. A lot of customers these days are doing it by sales, so you can reorder by sales, but then tie that information in with anything that you have on order as well. So I can simply say order by sales, select my department, and I've got a bunch of information in my book. So I'm going to say reorder from books based on my sales. Now you could do this seasonally. So if you sell a lot of educational or school books, you could jump in and say I want to reorder all the books I normally sell in January, and you could place that order for those now, being November. But I'm just going to say reorder for the last 4 years, so I get a good range of data. You've also got some options down the bottom here. I can include unsold stock items, so anything that's in my books department, it's still going to show me that, so I can choose whether I want to order some. I can show a monthly breakdown, which would show me how many I sell January, February, March, and so on. You've also got a growth and decline factor. So if you know business has been great over the last 6 months, you might put a growth factor in there of 10%, and that would then bump up those reorder levels for you. I'm just going to process it based on that. That'll just take a second to compile that, and here's all the books I've sold over the last 4 years. Now, you can go through, I could go through this list and look at what I've sold, look at what I've got on hand, and manually compile the quantities. Or if I just want to do this really quick and simply, I can do use quantity sold. That'll dump that into my quantity sold column there, and then I might go through and I might look at this and go, Barefoot Investor, let's actually get 5 copies of that. I've got 10 of Higher Latitude in stock, so I won't get any of that. So you can go through, manipulate this list to get it to where you want, and then I can create an order for it. That will then move me to my orders screen. So I can put an order number in, is what you're seeing there, if I have a reorder number with the supplier. But I can get that into my orders screen here, and I've still got the opportunity to manipulate this. So if I know the cost price or sell price is changing on any of these, I can. If I want to adjust my reorder quantities, I can do that sort of stuff too. And once I'm ready to submit this order to the supplier, all I've got to do is hit either print order if I want to print off a copy to look at it, or I can hit send order to supplier, and we integrate with Packstream. And what that'll do, that'll create a file that their system understands. It'll push that through to them. And then when I'm ready to receive this stock back into my store, you can simply go in and go, yep, it'll be listed in your order screen. You can simply click it to receive it in, and that will then go and update all of those quantities for you. So yeah, reordering is a breeze. You don't have to do it by sales history. You can absolutely just manually compile those orders. You can also do min-max levels, so some customers choose to do that. Yeah, there's a few different options for it. When it comes to adding new stock items in, I'm just going to cheat and I'm going to grab a barcode here. I've got a barcode on my other screen for a particular book. I can jump into my stock screen here, and if I'm adding something new in, I just hit the add option down the bottom here, and that will bring up my wizard to add a new product in. The first field it wants is its barcode. So if I was to scan a barcode in here, now I haven't added this in the background or preloaded this or anything. All I've done is grab its barcode because I've found it on a particular book. And that does a lookup automatically, and it's found that this is the Nerd Herd. Now, the system's got that information from a couple of different places. Firstly, it's grabbed it from Barcode Lookup. It's a website we integrate with that has over 1.2 billion products on it. It's a huge database. But then we also integrate with title page as well. So I could hit load title page details, and that will then, instead of using the barcode lookup information, that will grab that from title page. And you can see there, it's just changed the description to make it a bit better for me. I can put it into a department, so it goes into books. It's automatically got a brand there for it. That came through from online. I can choose my supplier, put in my reorder code. So I'll just make something up. Here's where I can set that min-max level if I want to use that. Put in my cost me $10. Based on my margin, I should sell it for $14.99. I might change that. You can set it as you please. Now you can also have a separate trade price. So if you sell anything to schools or other businesses, you may want to apply a trade price. And customers' profiles can then either be linked to trade price, sell price, or even a percentage above cost. So if you want to say staff can purchase things at cost plus 5%, you can do that. Or if you wanted to say, Tim, you're a really good retail customer, so you get sell price minus 5%, certainly do that too. And even if you had a really good trade customer, they could get a discount off of the trade price. You can choose what style of label you want for products. So if you wanted different labels for things like Australian authors and things like that, you can have a watermark in the background and do all sorts of fancy things with labels. Continuing through, it's automatically got an extended description in there. It again grabbed that from that online database. You've also got images. If I click that, it's automatically loaded images in for me. I didn't have to do that. And then it's got the dimensions of the book as well, and a few other fields further down. Again, all information I didn't have to manually put in. If I wanted to sell this online, all I need to do to get it listed on my website, check that web store item box. I've got the price in there. I probably want a bit more text on there, so I can jump in here and I can actually hit, I can have it set to pre-populate that, or I can come in here and go generate AI description. That'll look at what information it already has on this book, and it's pre-written that for me. And the AI descriptions on those, it's amazing. It does a really good job. So I can simply save that, finish that. That's now added into my system, so I can sell it in store. It's added it into my website because I checked that box to say it's a website item, and customers can now purchase that. So yeah, really easy. With the website integration, we link with Shopify, Magento, BigCommerce, and WooCommerce. Yeah, really straightforward. So that's your point of sale, your ordering process, adding stock. What else did I have that I wanted to run through? Look, marketing is a really important side of it. So you can come back to your main screen here and you've got marketing tools. You can jump in there and you can select customers that have purchased particular books or particular items and compile lists of who you want to market to. That information can then be exported to things like MailChimp and so on. You can run any catalogs through the system. So where you might do a range of books is 10% off for this week only, you can customize that. Another really big part of the system as well is the reporting side of things. Two ways to get to that. So firstly, you've got reports across the top here, and I'll just hover over these. If you want to see any examples of them, feel free to pause it through this process and send me an email and I'll email you through the equivalent report. But there's a huge range of them. And then you've also got, so you can get to them through your menus at the top or have a shortcut button on your screen here. But there's also the Insights dashboard. Now, I've got mine password protected, so not everyone can get in there. But if I jump in here, this gives me a lot of high level information. So you can jump in, by default, mine's showing me today's sales, but I'm just going to expand this out. I'm again going to say, show me 4 years. If you've got multiple locations, you can either show just your one location or all of them. So now that I've got 4 years, I've got a broad range of data in my database, but this shows me what my top performing departments were, how customers were paying, whether they were sales or invoices or lay-bys. If you are transacting online, you can also see how many online sales you've got. If you're utilizing the discount vouchers, highly recommend it. And yeah, you can also see what vouchers have been issued and what ones have been redeemed. And then, of course, you've got your overall liabilities there. Across the top, you've also got a heap of other tabs, so you can view what's not selling, what you're missing out on, so what you did have stock levels of, but now it's sold out. What sells with what is one of my favorites. This shows you your top 10 selling products down the left here, and what customers buy at the same time. Now, I don't have any data in this, but I do have another video on the Insights dashboard that will give you a better idea. And across the top, you've also got your theft and issue. It's shocking how many times we've had to assist customers with this, with theft issues. But this highlights anything suspicious that's happening in the business. So anytime staff are cancelling sales, deleting sales, changing prices, all that sort of stuff, anything that's suspicious is logged. And you can come in here and you can view all of that. So if I wanted to look at cancelled sales, I can click that and I can actually see them all down the bottom here. And I can click on that and I can view what exactly was on that transaction. So I can then go back and check my stock levels for those products. We also integrate with Xero for accounting, so we can push all of your department sales information and all of your suppliers' invoices. We push all of that across into Xero. We integrate with Tanda or Deputy for a staff tracking point of view, so clocking on and clocking off and things like that. A huge range of integrations. So look, that's kind of a very quick high level run through. In terms of the services we offer, it's all backed by 24/7 support. It's all Australian, so just pick up the phone and call us. There's also live chat, email support. There's a lot of doors to come through for us to help you with it. When it comes to the initial installation, we also help with things like data conversion, so we can bring across all of your customer information and all of your products. We generally do that with, I would say we're doing that with 90% of the installations we do. We also offer one-on-one training, so we'll help you learn the system, get it all settled in, and then, yeah, like I said, it's backed by 24/7 support. And we've got our online portal, so any of our customers can jump on our website. We've got a knowledge-based portal where you can search for, help sheets on things. And there's also onboarding training. So when you first start out, there's a heap of videos in here on, how to process stock in, how to perform sales, how to customize your screens. There's advice sheets and also, videos on a lot of this as well. So if I come in here and I go point of sale settings, you'll see there's a video here. Michael Mackey, one of our installation team, has done a fantastic job of those resources. We get a lot of positive feedback on it. If this is something that's of interest to you, by all means reach out to either Justin or myself. We'd be more than happy to understand your business and give you a run through on how this might work for you. Reach out to us either by sales at towersystems.com.au, or call either of us, and we'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching.